All right, Geraldo, you say you get where Trump is headed in terms of wanting to use his powers of clemency with respect to at least some of those prosecuted for what happened on January 6th. Explain it to us.
Well, I think that hopefully the president understands that what he did on Election Day in 2020 was something that can never again be repeated. That it was a horrible thing that he did. He unleashed that force. He incited those people. He led the way to the Capitol in words, if not in deeds. He wrecked the lives of the people who were arrested. Over 1,500 of them, half of whom, had major sentences. He ruined people's lives. He did a lot of awful things, and I hope that in the quiet of the night, Donald Trump, who I did not vote for, I voted for Kamala Harris proudly, that he understands that this can never again be allowed to happen. We can never have the Capitol of the United States desecrated. However, having said all that, I believe that the president does the right thing by pardoning these people. I repeat, I think that these folks have suffered enough. Their lives have been completely disrupted. I'm not talking about the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers or the professional agitators and terrorists, but I'm talking about the average schmo who listened to President Trump and as a result put his entire life in jeopardy, Chris.
Jimmy Jam, what do you make of that?
Well, I mean, I could understand why President Trump would be tolerant of criminality, obviously. I agree with most everything that Geraldo said. It just, you saw what you saw 4 years ago today. It was, understand, it was a massive act of criminality. We shouldn't make it into anything less, anything more than that. The individual case of maybe somebody got wrapped into this that had no record before, or actually believed something and was not violent. I could see maybe commuting a sentence or something like that, on a case-by-case basis. But the idea that, if somebody shoplifting, they get convicted, they got to go to court, they have to suffer the consequences of it. Well, if they assaulted the Capitol, if they killed a bunch of people, they put people's lives in jeopardy, they would have hung the vice president, they'd had half a chance. So I know what, I'm like you and I'm like Geraldo. I know what I saw 4 years ago and I can't unsee it.
I got it. Geraldo, I don't understand the advantage for him keeping this alive that way. Whoever it is that he's going to impress by letting people out for committing crimes that they would never be asking for if it was a Black Lives Matter movement that busted into the Capitol that day. Who does he help in terms of wanting to build consensus and expand his reach by doing a move like this right out of the box?
I would like, you mentioned Black Lives Matter, I would like the George Floyd rioters who were arrested or detained to have a third party review their sentences to the extent there are any sentences to find out how many of them were actually prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And I think that you would be shocked at how few were grinded to dust by the criminal justice system. These folks, all of them, were punished because of their adherence, their love for, their belief in, their faith in Donald J. Trump. They believed him when he said that the election was stolen. Donald Trump then, to my chagrin and dismay, convinced half the country to be liars to themselves, to convince themselves that the election was stolen. We know it was not stolen. Every fact-finding body has declared that. But Trump, again, I say that in the dark of night, he thinks about the 1,500 odd. I think, first of all, let me just get down to brass tacks. Right now, today, the first minute one of his term in office, almost at his reign, minute one, the people charged with misdemeanors, they walk right now. They walk right now. Their lives have been totally disrupted. Even with a very hostile, aggressive Department of Justice, they were only found guilty or responsible for misdemeanors. So let's get them out of the way. And then you deal with the rest. I don't mind case-by-case basis if that's what Jimmy and others suggest.